Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our mindfulness session. I hope you're having a nice summer and being able to practice mindfulness in, small ways in daily life. And I'm going to start. Hope people can come on. And while we are waiting for, maybe a minute more, I would love you to post in the chat how beneficial the past two sessions were and have you been able to practice anything, at least bring in your attention mindfulness in any way. That would be nice to hear. So today we will explore connection and how that's going to show up in our life. When I talk about connection, it's connection within us inward and connection outward, like connecting with others and with nature, with all the type of connection. It's not just one connection. So before we start, let's recap what we did so far. We explored calm, and we explored how we can make conscious choice when it comes to food, and many things, right? Mostly food, because that's one of our biggest um, attention grabbing thing in our life. We have get-togethers, we have potlucks, and we have to eat to nourish ourselves also. So now let's explore how we can bring a deeper connection within us. So for that, we need to understand what is self-compassion. We are often compassionate with others, right? We feel sympathetic and all when we talk to somebody, we feel so much caring and affectionate and loving, but we often don't show that much attention to ourselves, right? So think about that. How do you respond to yourself in a circumstance where you are faced with a criticism or you're faced with uh, a situation in life that was depressing, a loss, anything, any situation that is an experience that you can remember, then think about that. How were you responding to yourself? Were you compassionate, or were you saying, I'm useless, I'm not worthy, whatever? Think about that. What has come to your mind in such a situation? So one of the mindfulness, self-compassion guru's name is Kristen Neff. If she has books and stuff, and she talks about self-compassion as it's not pity, not self-pity. It's about being kind to yourself and showing, us, understanding that we are human means we are not always perfect, that struggling and experiencing different emotions is part of being human. It's not a failure. It's just being who we are. We live in this world, we experience everything that comes with it, you know. So then another part of self-compassion is being mindful, noticing our feelings without judging or getting, emotional too much. But we have to think through it, process it by asking various questions. What can I do best in this time? How will it affect others or me? And how is it going to help me move forward at this if I respond this way in this situation? Remember, event plus response equals outcome. So am I getting the best outcome if I behaved like this? Or how can I change my response so that I have a better outcome? So that's always our equation. Event plus response equals outcome. Okay. So think through that. So that is a little bit about how we can be compassionate to ourselves. Believe, just understanding that being kind to ourselves is okay. And we are humans. We all have emotions, feelings, and being mindful and understand how to deal with it in a way that it produces the outcome that is meaningful to us. So, what is self-compassion? How can we, you know, why it matters? And think about it. You know, when we have self-compassion, we can recover faster from events and all the things. When we are in a work environment, we know that we often have burnout, right? Sometimes we are under pressure to produce a lot of things. Sometimes we are, faced with too much work, all kinds of things in our work environment. We can face burnout, and the next one is to have stronger boundaries. Treating ourselves kindly means we should be able to say no. Maybe one day when we come to work, we are overwhelmed by too many emails that we have sort through, too many people requesting too many things. That is a time when we can prioritize things in a way that it is not a burnout. Instead, it is, depending on the priority, we can tackle one at a time. Uh, that's that's self-compassion. It's about being sustainable in the environment we are in without, judging us or without putting us down by ourselves. So we all have an inner critic and we have an inner coach. How can we bring out the inner coach when we are in situations like burnout and, a lot of things going on in life, from family, from friends, from work? We often say, I should have done it better, right? Lots of should have, right? And then I don't know. Why am I failing? Everybody else can do it, but why not me, right? I'm still failing. If I rest, I won't be able to catch up. Fear of missing out, right? We all have that. But how do we deal with it? This is the time when we need to bring out our inner coach. We all have a critic and a coach. So one of the things you can do is create a different identity that you want, different, like say, so my name is Jessy. So I have a joyful Jessy that I bring out when I'm really kind of depressed and sad and very, feeling very bad at work or anything. So I try to bring experience that brought me joy and happiness that time to reflect on it. Is that my life just, this present moment? No, I live in future. I will be living in future, and I had experiences in my life that brought me joy. So can I just reflect 1 minute on that and change the whole present state of mind? So create an identity that, something like fun that you can bring it on when you are like depressed or having difficult times. And reframe how you talk to yourself, instead of saying, I should have handled it better. You can say, that was hard. I'm I'm learning as I go. Life is always learning, right? It's full of learning, and it's continuous process, continuous improvement. So everyone struggles, but that's okay. That's part of this journey. So about rest, rest is important to our body to function better. We don't need to always worry about things, or don't need to have the fear of missing out. It's always there, everything. There are people that I coach to stock up food thinking that the world is going to collapse and things like that. But I say we live in USA. There is no shortage of food. Or if we want, we can figure out things better. Okay. For me, I keep telling myself, if somebody has done it, I can do it. That's my always keeps in my, if somebody challenges me for something, I'm off, I'm all ready for it. I like to try at least to see if anybody has achieved that, if I can achieve, if it is in my path to continue this life. It's not like everything in the world, but small things like cooking something new. If somebody has done it, and if most of the time there is a YouTube video or something we can follow and understand, we can repeat it, right? If it's repeatable, if somebody has done it, we can do it. Okay. Same goes with our habits. The thing that we need to ask is, do we really need it? Is that something important to us? Is it important to us to have self-compassion and an inner connection with ourselves? I assume yes. For me, I want to feel better within myself. Yeah. So there is a homework for you. Create like an inner coach with the name that is something that you can relate to, something that's funny, and something that is really you can adapt to. So, how can you do this, right now? Notice what is feeling, if you have like a hard moment, just name it and just repeat to yourself, I'm not alone in this. Many people have done it. It's okay. Yeah, it's just the voice in my head that is talking. I want you to remind yourself that difficulty is just part of life and part of work, and you're not alone. And three is be kind to yourself. Offer yourself a phrase that, may I be patient with myself right now. Just 30 seconds and try it. Just repeat to yourself saying, may I be kind to myself? May I love myself? May I be patient with myself right now? Okay. So now let's see how we can practice this, every day on a daily basis. Morning we can, before you open your computer or phone, take 3 slow breaths and and say, make an intention for the day that I will be, irrespective of what happens today, I'm going to be kind to myself. I will bring joy to the moment that I feel really down. So in lunchtime, anytime, lunch doesn't, midday doesn't mean lunch, or midday means middle, it gives you a framework in the middle of the day when you're, even if you don't eat lunch, it's okay. Just take a 2 minutes break from the screen and check yourself and see how you're doing. Can you stretch your body? Can you, whatever you can do within the space that you are in, a minute, and check in with you how you're feeling, and see if you can elevate your emotions and the state of mind, so that you can continue the rest of the day in an upbeat situation rather than depressed and down. And before leaving, logging off our work and going home, take a moment to see, what have you achieved today? What was the high point for today that brought you joy? Did you accomplish anything? Did you finish anything? Did you make somebody happy by saying something good, or did you make yourself happy by appreciating, um, yourself? So this is a habit I encourage you to develop. So there are multiple ways you can implement, maybe if you enter through a doorway to your office, as soon as you pass through the doorway, if you have to punch in your code or if you have to swipe your badge or whatever mechanism you use, take that moment just to be grateful for the day that you are able to work, you are able to come to work, and then, just create an intention. That's the point that you do every day, right? So you can attach something to that action that you're doing, so that you can have a reference point. Same thing, what do you do midday that is repeatable, that's you doing every day? Are you eating lunch at work, or are you doing anything special, like, check in on your family, whatever you're doing midday, anything, then associate that with another process that you can do. And in the evening, okay, you have to log off your computer if you are using computer, or you have to lock the door if you have to lock the door, or punch in your code. Again, associate that with a micro. These are all micro practices. Takes less than 30 seconds, right? And so see if you can do that. That is like anchoring the self-compassion to the moments you already have. You can take a deep breath, create a kind intention, things like that. So far we talked about bringing connection inward by being able to show self-compassion to ourselves and kindness to ourselves, right? Now, most of us work in the office where we interact with multiple people, and we go through various things throughout the day, right? If you are traveling by bus, you interact with people on the bus. Everybody's situation is different. Now let's see how we can bring this to our outward. Like right now we talked about internally, right? Now externally, how can bring compassion externally? So think about your environment. What do you do? Every day. How can you bring compassion to other people? Showing compassion is a way of connecting. Okay, it's about connection. This is about we are human beings, right? We need people. We need our friends. We need our environment to connect to, right? We are not just single person living within ourselves. We have family, we have friends, we have co-workers, we have different environment we interact with, right? So how can we bring connection outward? In your your way, daily interactions, think about your life. So when you are burned out, when you have too much work, maybe you can communicate better, saying, can I take a look at this tomorrow? Could I work on this tomorrow? That is a compassionate way to express that you don't have time right now. And when you take breaks, everybody can see that you perform better, right? Then the break's important. People can understand that. So when others are practicing same thing, just assume good intent. I also think about how would you be able to make someone happy by saying something nice, or just acknowledging them and showing that you are there for them. Sometimes a small gesture, a smile can brighten other person's day who is sad or who is depressed. Depending on the individual, it can bring joy to them, saying that, oh, other people are there. I'm not alone. I have strangers looking at me and smiling at me, Yeah. So they don't need even know that you are appreciating them or saying, you are thinking about them or anything. So for me, I work in a hospital environment, even though I'm not in working with the patients. So when I walk by different parts of my work area, I just pray for people or I just wish them well, in my mind, like may they be healed or may they experience joy today. May they bring happiness to others. So just small things, which they don't need to know, but we as humans can express love outward, connection. That's form of connection, self-compassion, empathy that we have for others. So think about in your life, how can you express your connection outward, your compassion? So I want you to take a moment and think about it, where in your week does the inner critic shows up? What would it sound like to talk to yourself? The way you like to talk to a good friend having a hard day? What's one boundary, big or small, that you like to protect your energy this month? How might treating yourself with more compassion change how you show up for others? Take a moment and think. And now I want you to think about how can you continue this practice. We talked about all these things about calm, conscious choice, and connection. Um, how can you practice this? Can you intentionally pick like a moment or a time of the day that you can practice? Like I said, coming to work or opening a door or just before you sign on or sign off. Where can you practice this? I would love to hear in the chat what you intend to practice and how you intend to practice this mindfulness for your day-to-day activities. I'm watching chat, so if you like to chat in, that's good. Intentional breaks is good. So I would like to end our session with a small meditation. Okay. And I invite you to close your eyes, and with a position that's comfortable for you, closing your eyes and planting your feet on the ground. See if you can feel your feet while, see if you can sense your body, any part. Like when you sit, your upper body is resting on the chair. Can you feel it? Can you feel the clothes touching your body? Just bring awareness to your body for a minute. See, and take 3 deep, rejuvenating breaths. You are just allowing your body to come to a resting place, to be still. And as you close your eyes, you're bringing awareness to your breath and focus on your breath. See if you can feel it coming in and out. Just for a few seconds. So we live in Virginia, right? So I want you to we have lots of mountains here. I want you to bring into your mind's eye the most beautiful mountain that you know or have seen. Just bring slowly that mountain into your mind's eye. Let it become bright and big and where you can really see as if it's in front of you, like a big visual image. See its peaks. How is its top shaped? Has it sharp conical shape, or it has small, wavy structure? What kind of mountain did you imagine? Just bring that shape. Look at the shape. How big its base? How big is its base? Is it very big mountain? Has steep slopes or gentle slopes? Notice how massive this mountain is and how solid and how strong it is. On top of that, how beautiful it is. When I love to look at mountains and see how, enjoy that. So when you bring that picture into your mind, just bring that beauty that is beyond our imagination to your mind. Think about how beautiful it is. Bring it very close. Mountains have a lot of things happen in them, right? Sometimes it's foggy and we cannot see them. Sometimes it's snow covered and it looks beautiful. And sometimes it's fully covered with trees and yeah, right? And there are streams flowing on the side of them. Whatever mountain you have, does it have waterfalls? Does it have series of peaks? Or does it have lakes around it? Observe it. Notice what all you can find around that mountain. Now I want you to embody that mountain, like bring that mountain within you as if you are that mountain. So the mountain in your eye becomes the one you are sitting here, you know, share in this massive amount of uh, mountain, its stillness, its beauty, grounded in this position right now, just like the mountain is, supported by the body. Your shoulders, arms, are the sides of the mountain. And you're sitting on a chair. It's a solid base, you know. Take a couple more deep breaths and bring in that mountain characteristics like stillness and beauty and all to yourself. And when the sun comes, the mountains shadows fall on it. Our life is the same way. We change our mind, our mood changes, our emotion changes, our life changes, just like the mountains, colors changes, shadow falls on it. But it is still, and its surface always seems, active, like melting the snow, waterfalls, and all the things, right? Wildlife running on it, rusting on it. When night comes, day comes, doesn't matter, sun comes, it is still strong. It just sits there experiencing the changes in moment. Just like us, we are sitting and we're experiencing the life, right? Seasons in our life, everything, moment by moment. In summer, there is no snow, maybe rain and some fog. In the fall, it has bright colors. And in the winter, snow and ice, right? Any season is like that in our life too. Does anything mean any of this affect the mountain as it is? No, it still remains the same, still bearing all those things, right? Clouds come and go by. Tourists will go hike, walk. The mountain, we just appreciate the mountain. The beauty has not changed a bit. So are you. You are strong. You are beautiful. You are precious. You are a human that's enjoying this world just like that mountain. Many people depend on you. Like we all go to the mountain and enjoy the mountain. Sometimes there is violent storms. Sometimes there is earthquake. Sometimes whatever, right? Like life happens. Through it all, the mountain sits. Spring comes, leaves come, flowers bloom, lot of butterflies and birds enjoy the mountain. We all have the seasons in our life too, right? Through it all, the mountain continues to sit unmoved by the weather, by what happens on its surface, by the everything that happening around it. Changing weather, changing seasons, changing activity, doesn't matter. It shows its beauty, it shows its strength, it shows that it can endure everything, right? In the same way, I encourage you to experience the life at the same time. Be strong, embody the mountain's characteristic, like stillness, groundedness, the face of the things that change our lives. Sometimes the next moment we don't know what's going to happen, but the life goes on. We experience storms just like the mountains, but you're strong. So I encourage you to embody the mountain strength, stability, and its beauty, into your own life. You are like a mountain. This helps us to see, all what we experience with a different perspective, right? We know things happen. Yeah. holding like a mountain. You have more power within you when you do that. I encourage you to take a couple more deep breaths as we finish up this session. Just do a body scan and see how you're feeling. And I hope you can take this meditation or the breathing practice or anything we talked about here in the last 3 sessions, the formula that I taught, E plus R equals O, anything that brought some learning that you took away that you can practice and continue to live, be strong and live a beautiful life. Yeah, I'm so happy that you joined and practiced in this sessions with me. If you have any questions, you can, reach out to me or the organizers, and happy to help in any way. Thank you for being here.